Hey, welcome back to Sidetrack Garage. So, right there, the 85 Ford Ranger. That's the wrong one. Hold on a second. Okay, here it is. It's the 85 or 6 F-150. At least this one's got a grill. Let's show you around this thing a little bit. So, look at the tag here. Yeah, it is an 86. I got this one, I don't know, 3 years ago probably. Put a gauge in it and then took some gauges out of it. Had to use it on the other truck, but now I think it's time to get this one back up and going. Honestly, that's not a bad shutting door. Not bad. So this one, put those tires on it. Those wheels came once. This one's got the 302. It was fuel injected. Had some issues with it. Honestly, this was more of a experimental truck when I got it. So I knew you could always put carbureted stuff on fuel injected stuff, but one of those things I kind of had to see for myself. Then put a Holley Street Avenger 570, I think. I'm assuming everything inside this motor is factory, so I just figured go with something kind of small, and that way you know it should be able to handle it. It has a AOD automatic in it, unfortunately. Would really like for it to have a manual. This thing would be pretty cool with a manual in it. I might 4-speed swap it one day. I've got a 4-speed, so don't know what else to do with it. There's a gauge that goes in it. Yeah, we got some spare headers. They came off the white truck. Figure I might put those on here. But what we're going to do with this thing is try to get it running again. Dome light works too. And hopefully, probably, maybe make a grocery getter daily driver out of this. Winter's coming. We're going to need that. Okay. The main reason it was parked was the radiator. And there's a very slight fuel leak from the electric pump that I put on it. And then it's just been pretty much sitting here. And then I had a few transmission issues out of it. So whenever you'd be driving it and it would go into overdrive, it would just start jumping and carrying on. So I figured if there's any kind of issue with it, I don't want to be stranded, so I just parked it. Then got to thinking, yeah, that might actually be the TV cable, kickdown cable. So if I don't have, I've got a pressure tester kit. I'm gonna have to go fetch that. I don't have it on me at the moment. So once I get everything going with it, then just put that on it. Pressure test the transmission, make sure everything's good there. Can't remember exactly how to do it. Hopefully I still have the instructions. So it's been sitting here for a year and a half, maybe. So now I'm going to try to get it going again. And hopefully it still runs. I don't see any reason it shouldn't. And then, ooh, I don't have a brake booster. Took that out to put it in the white truck, and actually I need that one for this one because that's the wrong booster for that truck, but it works. Alright, let's just try to get it running. You go ahead and make sure this is on full chooch. Turn it on to 200, hit the start button. Don't see any reason it wouldn't run other than trash gas, but it can't be that bad. It's only been a year and a half-ish. kind of a process to start this thing. Well, that's weird. Go check that out. Probably a loose connection. I've been having trouble out of that. Back when I had it on the road, that is. What is your problem? The battery charger doesn't sound very happy right now. Okay, quit. I should probably figure out what the deal is with that, actually. Pretty sure it's just that. You can kind of see the corrosion on that wire. Just give it a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Alright, try again. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, you didn't see that. Let's see if it works. Okay, key on, switch on, starter switch. Nope, still a big no. Oh, it picked up. Starter's probably froze up, actually. Give me another minute. Alright, so I think I might have found the issue. At least what I'm hoping it is a solenoid. Pretty sure the solenoid does work, but I think these grounds are not grounding, so I'm going to get those cleaned up and maybe figure out a better way to clamp that battery onto that post there, or the terminal, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. Hopefully the starter's not locked up. There, got that cleaned up and that mess put back together. So, everything should be making contact. As long as the starter's not locked up, it'll turn over. Probably. Nope. Maybe turn the key off. Yep. It's not going to do anything, of course, but I just didn't want to leave the key on. Should honestly really try to make sure that that's actually making all the contact. I was able to carry the juice from there to there. Sometimes when you go and do stuff like this, it doesn't exactly work out. So, I'm going to unhook that and try something different. Alright, so I think I may have found the issue. I think it is the starter. Unfortunately. Really hoping to do this as absolutely as cheap as possible. I started for these and done myself. So, it is very late right now. Not very late, it's just dark. I hate this dark early stuff. You can't get nothing done. Anyway, I guess I'll just be picking this up later on when it's more daylight out. It's brighter on the phone right now than it is actually. It's pretty dark right now. Really wanted to hear it run today. Anyway, I'll get this stuff put up and then get back on this when there's some light. Man, you can't hardly see it, but that is a big bear. You see it there? It's right there. That's a big bear. Alright, I'm back at it. Got some battery turnimals and starter. Go ahead and get that turned on there before what it looks like it's going to rain. Yeah, because that doesn't work very great. I mean, it works, but not exactly ideal for a battery cable. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get going on that. Alright, I got those on. I don't think I've got any power in this thing. Go ahead and check. Been a minute since I used one of these. Maybe. Okay, try that. Well, that doesn't look good. I think I got it plugged in right. Maybe that's where it should be. Okay, so we probably have 2 volts on it, maybe? I don't know. Either way, it's not enough to start it, and it's raining, and I don't want to bring out the battery charger just to get it wet, and then just really start raining and have to put it right back. Let's see if anything in the cab comes in. What we got? Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, so that thing is dead. I'll grab a light, that, and it's not raining under the truck as much, so I guess I'll just head under there and see what's up about that starter. Go ahead and swap that out. Yep. There, got the charger on it, and the starter, that's making a weird noise now. We'll ignore that for a minute. And then, got the starter on it. We'll go ahead and see if that did anything, hopefully. Nice and bright. No, it's not. Now it is. Turn it over first. Nothing. Hold on. Make sure that signal's hooked up. It's not. That's good. Alright. As long as the battery charger doesn't explode, this thing should turn over. Wow. That's not good. Well, we'll just give it a minute then. See if that does anything. I think it just shut off. What's going on? Okay, it's still on. Pretty sure the battery's just that weak. Yeah, that's pretty dead. I need some light on the situation. Yeah, everything there is good. I mean, as far as I can see it. I mean, you don't know what's going on inside of there. And obviously we got contact there. I know the starter, well, starter should definitely be good. I guess I'll be back in a second again, see if anything changes. Alright, so day 13 on working on the 86 f-1fitty. So the old battery is absolute garbage. It will not do anything whatsoever. It doesn't matter how many amps you're putting to it through the battery charger, just absolutely nothing. So went ahead and got a cheap battery for it. Little one, real little. It'll work. It's got volts and it's got amps, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if this thing's gonna fire up. It should. I don't see any reason it wouldn't. Alright, let's see what this thing does now. I'm thinking it's going to start. Let me give it a few pumps. Oh yeah. It's actually running pretty good too. Throw the tester on it, see if it's charging. Last time I had it running, I don't think it was charging, but that could also be just because the battery was just absolute junk. I know, this looks like a test light. It's actually a test light with a digital readout. $14.6. I'm very glad to see that because I was about to buy an alternator and they are not cheap for some reason. I mean, as far as like other types of alternators, it's relatively cheap, but anyway, I don't have to buy one, so that's good. Do we still got gears? Probably so. I'm a little bit nervous because I don't have brakes. So it's just... Yep, we got gears. Yep, that's how you gotta drive them when you don't have brakes. Just rip her down and go. If you're pointed uphill, of course. Oh yeah, the clock still works in this thing. I thought that was pretty neat. About out of gas. Just needs a little tuning, I believe. That's not too bad. That's smooth right there. This thing actually does run pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down before she gets hot. Forgot the key doesn't actually shut it off. That was a lot of smoke though. I had something in the exhaust plugging her up. I don't know. Yep, something's burning. Might have some leaves in here or something like that. I don't know. Oh, that there's just the plug for the vacuum going to the booster, which is not there. But yeah, 14 volts is what we were reading out of that. And that's great, actually. This thing surprises me how good it still runs. It's got a little bit of a rough idle, but keep in mind it hasn't run in, well, let's say a while. That gas is pretty old. Alright, so got it running finally. Took longer than I wanted to. Had things to do, you know. Only had the evenings to work on it and about an hour a day late at that, so wasn't working out very good. And then rain on top of that, so. Anyway, got it running. That's great. Runs really good, surprisingly. So, I think very soon this thing can just be shoved right back onto the road, because honestly there's not much wrong with it. It's just small things that I don't really want to have to do, or didn't want to have to do, but I like this truck, so I'm going to go ahead and fix it up some, get her running good. And oh, booster, because Bluetooth boosters don't work that great. Strange. So I'm going to get one thrown on there, probably just the old one off the white truck, because I mean it leaked, had a vacuum leak in it, but that's not too big an issue. And then we'll get it tuned. Also, apparently with the AODs, which is what this thing's got for transmissions, what you got to do is put a vacuum, or not a vacuum gauge, pressure gauge, oil pressure gauge, or something like that, and hook that up to the transmission from one of the ports. Can't remember which one it is. Then adjust the TV cable, runs under the throttle cable and hooks to the throttle linkage on the carburetor. And then you adjust the cable there, and you can also adjust it on the transmission too, I think. That I'm pretty sure is out of whack, because this thing, when you get going down the road, it felt like it was trying to choose between high and low. Didn't like that feeling. One of the reasons I parked it. I just didn't want to fool with it at the moment, so going to get that straightened out, get the carburetor cleaned up. Needs a body mount. Fuel pressure regulator probably needs adjusted. Just keep in mind this thing was fuel injected, so it doesn't have a port in the timing cover. Well, it's there, it's just not machined out. But it doesn't have anything in the timing cover to put a mechanical pump in, unfortunately. That's the way I wanted to do it, but I would have had to change some stuff. So, it'll be back soon as I get everything else straightened out. And then, like I said, we'll get it back on the road. Have a nice little grocery getter. It's probably pretty bad on gas, actually. Anyway, thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.